I think there's real opportunity for us in the Middle East, both in supporting the industrial growth with captive power, right? And we talked about that a little bit earlier with the Bahrain plant, which is kind of providing power to the aluminum smelter, but also providing power to the grid and providing power for those purposes. So whether it be as a baseload application that'll run 7,000 to 8,000 hours a year, and as an enablement to support renewables growth as that continues to expand in the region, and to be the intermittent or the levelizer for intermittent power that supports the region. So we're excited about the Middle East. We view it to be a huge priority of ours and one that we're going to continue to invest in. Starts with the team, starts with the capability of what GE represents, right? This is a 125-year-old company that has evolved over time through various chapters in which the markets that we play in have had ups and downs. And the gas market is having a cyclical downturn right now as it regards to new gas turbine demand, okay, relative to where we were. But at the same time, for me, in leading the services business, I see a fleet that's very stable and that's running at a very stable basis in which our customers need us, in which our customers are in need of our solutions, in which it's incredibly motivating for me and gives me an immense amount of optimism about where we're going as a business, because we have a market that needs us with customers that need new and different solutions, and the team that I have being the right team to solve it for them. You want to continue to become more economically advantageous for the customers that you're serving, right? And a lot of what we've invested in on the new unit side and on the services side is efficiency gains. How do you create the same amount of power consuming less fuel? Start there. 2, it's how do you produce more power taking up less space, okay? And our solutions have become increasingly power dense over the last half decade. 3, how do we become more flexible? And that flexibility is how quickly can we ramp the machines up and down to support some of the other power generation sources, but also fuel flexible, in which fuels that we can burn to consume to create that electricity. So through the efficiency gains, through the power density gains, through the flexibility gains, we're giving optionality for our customers in a time in which optionality and flexibility is incredibly important as the grids become more complex and the problems they're trying to solve become more complex. Globally, we've sold 435 of these advanced gas path upgrades into the fleet for exactly the reason that you're saying. It is time-consuming and expensive to build new plants. But if you can upgrade the gas turbine and get an incremental 5, 10, 15% output on an existing plant, that's very attractive to the customers for both the timeliness of it, but the economics of it also. So this is a priority. In the Middle East, the biggest demand factor is output because they're craving demand. Other parts of the world, the customers may be buying the upgrades as much for the efficiency benefits because fuel may be more expensive. So in parts of the world where gas is a much more expensive fuel source, the efficiency gains may be valued more than the output. In the Middle East, there's an immense appetite for our solutions because there's an immense need for more power. Huge opportunity. I think for the same reason that as grids diversify further in the world, become more renewables dependent, they're becoming more complex. And industrial companies can't afford for their plants to go down. So many more of them are taking control in their own hands and creating and investing in the captive power that's required to have the generation at the load, at the need, and control it. And that's a great opportunity for us and one that we're going to continue to take advantage of. And Bahrain, we talked about earlier with the aluminum smelters, a good example of that with our H technology. Saudi cement is another great opportunity with kind of our advanced gas path upgrades that we inserted there to provide more output and efficiency and allow the customer to have a less dependence on the grid and be entirely independent with the power generation that's there. And I think that's a trend we're going to continue to see, and one that we plan on supporting and investing in. It's incredibly important, and it's a big priority for us, and it's an area that we're seeing good gains in. You know, we have over $200 million of orders today. We just went through our most material and largest outage on one of the 501F outages in Mexico, and the performance of the machines exceeding expectations, which is giving us a lot more confidence that there is a lot of opportunity for us here to adopt other OEM machines, use our GE technology and IP and incorporate that and make those machines our own, to take an other OEM machine, make it a GE machine, and service it in a more economical and efficient way for the customer base. Listen, every day we're working to get better to support our customers and provide more optionality for them and to provide better economic solutions. So it starts with us, okay? At the same time, we're in a competitive market in which we have a lot of respect for the other players that are in the market and what they're doing too to support the customer base. And competition's a good thing, okay? So we look inward first at how do we take the resources of General Electric and parlay that into a better solution for the customers, and we're doing that every day. How we differentiate ourselves, few competitors have those scaled benefits that we have across aircraft engines, power generation, the size of our fleet. A third of the world's electricity is generated with our machines. The scale that we have is second to none. And with that, it gives our customer base that much more comfort and confidence that when the phone rings and something goes wrong, we're going to answer it, we're going to fix it, and we'll deliver. Everything doesn't go perfectly, and there's always stuff we're working on. It's not a straight line to success with power plants. They're hard. But because they're hard, that's even more why I think the customers are drawn towards us, because as we work through things, they know we're going to do it in a transparent, open way with urgency. That's exactly what they expect and they should expect. There's no kind of cookie cutter one-size-fits-all approach to localization. It's very situational, I would say, with the investment return dynamic of what's needed to support a fleet. So DMOM is a huge success for us and something we're really proud of, and something that's good for the country, good for the region, good for GE at large. And I'm sure there'll be more opportunities for in other locations to do other similar things, but it's situational, and it's not necessarily something that the reasons it worked in DMOM are the reasons it'll work someplace else. But being local matters. It matters in infrastructure, and it'll be something that we continue to aspire to be. On the skilled resources, listen, there's an incredible amount of resources available in most parts of the world, and more often than not, what those resources need are an incubator to grow and develop and succeed, and that's a huge part of what makes GE great, is that we're great at actually nurturing and developing people and giving them a path to a better life and a better future. And it's something I'm most proud of in being a leader of GE, and that motivates me. So it's less a inhibitor and more of an opportunity, because there's great people all over the world that want an opportunity to succeed, and GE is a great place to do that. We are capable of supporting all forms of kind of base load power. Every deal is kind of deal specific, but we have the capabilities today to play across fuel sources. That said, my space is gas, and where I'm spending my time is on supporting us growing our gas business. But the GE portfolio is very broad, and is capable of playing in a lot of spaces, including the other base load technologies. Our customers are dealing with a more complex grid today than they grew up in, to a large extent. And that complexity is creating a need for more flexibility on our behalf. So a lot of what we're investing in is providing more optionality to our customers to operate the machines in different ways, to use the data that is available from those machines to extrapolate that into a better performing machine and a better predictive machine and vehicle that supports better operations. So a lot of what it comes down to is in a grid and an environment with increasingly dynamic variables at play, how do we keep everyone on our toes and ready to support, and the machines on their toes to support those changing variables and succeed? Because ultimately our goal is to have our machines running, and ultimately our goal is to support our customers to be as successful and profitable as they can be. And as there's more volatility in the market, you need to be even more agile. And we think we're capable of creating the most agile solutions that make our customers most equipped and capable of capturing opportunities as they present themselves. We've applied storage solutions to some of our smaller aeroderivative applications, LM6000s. So we have a running plant in California right now, and we're going to evaluate a lot of other opportunities there. We've talked about kind of launching an energy reservoir that kind of complements that system and is a storage-like solution that we can play off of, but it's something we're definitely going to do more of in the future. It starts with having a solution that adds value for the customers, right? And we're investing billions of dollars to recreate ourselves with the digital offerings that give our customers more optionality, more optimizing capability with how they run the machines, how they dispatch the machines, how low they'll turn down the machines without turning them off. Again, agility, flexibility, using data and digital to give them better knowledge, more capability in the control room to do more and different things with more certainty and more confidence. And that's why we've invested billions of dollars in our digital capability and are continuing to invest a substantial amount of money, is to increase the use of the data that we have, and then not just doing that for the sake of doing it, translating it to industrial applications that deliver results to the customers.